Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to Digimon Adventure 2020, episode 31. So, last we left off, we got War Greymon. As everybody separated, the fights continue, and we finally got War Greymon, and I'm just worried. I'm just worried that we're going to get all the Mega Digivolutions right off the bat, kind of like how the Champion and Ultimate were done. I want them to be more spaced out, but we're probably going to get them all here, and I don't know, it's a little disappointing. It really is. And it's been a little bit since the Ultimate ones were gotten, and I get it. A lot of the viewers of this are probably going to be classic fans, and it's like going through everything again, taking as long for certain things again is just going to be very boring to get through, but still, it's just like, geez. It feels like they're just really rushing through things. And don't get me wrong, I still love it. I'm still enjoying the series, but this, I will admit, feels very rushed at this point, bringing in the mega levels already. If that is what they're going to do altogether. If it's just War Greymon right now, I'll be fine with it. But if they do more at this moment, which it looks like they might be doing based on the context of what is going on right now, that's going to be disappointing. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. To be fair, we haven't seen Patamon's our mega level yet, so maybe we won't. I don't know. Maybe we'll just get other ultimates. Maybe it's just to introduce one of them right now. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, it's just War Greymon right now. But this has been on hiatus for a few weeks. I got caught up like a couple weeks ago, and then there's like a week of just there was none because it's been on hiatus during the holidays and everything. But it's back, and we're getting to it, and I'm excited for more. So we're just going to get into this and hope for the best. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers, splat. I almost misspoke there, and will contain spoilers to the episode. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So this episode was a big lore dump, really. And at the same time, it was like just a really big, important episode for the future of this series, this reboot. We've already seen how this reboot has done things notably different than the original. But they definitely seem to be going a completely different route following Devimon. Which means we might not get Myotismon, we might not get the Dark Emperors. I think in the original series, after the Dark Emperors, there was Apocalypmon, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Something like that. I don't think it was Millenniumon. But it was like, there was like almost no real build up to it. It was just very sudden. Myotismon was always one of my favorites from the original. In fact, probably my favorite villain of the original. So it's like, it's a little disappointing if he doesn't make it in, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. Maybe they'll bring him in, just have him be less of like a big thing and more of like just a villain for like a matter of like a few episodes or something, maybe 10 episodes. I don't know. I just really want, and also, Gatomon in the original was directly linked with Myotismon. Like, it was legitimately a major part of the story. So it's like, how is Hikari going to get Gatomon if Myotismon's not a thing? I don't know. I mean, Myotismon could still be a thing. It's possible, but I will have to see. We'll have to see. They might just skip the Dark Emperors this time too. If they have Myotismon in and just skip the Dark Emperors and go straight into Millenniumon after that, or again whatever the new evil is, then that could possibly work. We'll have to see, just based on how long this reboot is. I'm just very interested to see how this goes at this point. But so in this episode, we find out that mysterious Lotmon is really the reborn form of the Cherubimon that led the war against Millenniumon in the ancient past of the digital world. Having regained his memories after seeing War Greymon, he tells Tai, Agumon, Piomon, and Sora all about the past, how the war kind of went down, and the threat of Millenniumon and how it still exists because Millenniumon couldn't be completely destroyed, but only like just kind of broken into shards of itself. We find out that there is another holy Digimon, which anyone who's familiar with the series would have already known because we know about Angelomon and everything. She is my favorite Digimon. So that's not a surprise or anything. But to them, to the characters, it is at this point because they kind of assumed that the Holy Digimon was just one Digimon rather than a duo. So this is definitely building up for Hikari gaining her partner Digimon, which, as we know, is Gatomon. So that's definitely being built up right now. But on top of that, we also we do get the end goal here, the end game, Millenniumon, and as Lotmon says, basically the new evil that's going to kind of take Millenniumon's place. Because of the influence of Millenniumon and the shards that were scattered around after the war in the ancient past, a new evil is going to rise, and they need the chosen ones to be able to stop it. We saw shadowed forms of the other mega levels, which will be coming at some point in the future, clearly. But I'm glad we didn't get just another one right away here. We didn't get like Sora or Piomon's mega level. I'm glad for that, and I hope we don't just still continue to get them. This episode was a big lore dump, a big plot heavy episode. It did have some action, but it was very plot heavy. So they could technically still go next time and give Piomon her Mega Evolution. I just really hope it doesn't happen and we space those out a bit more because those seem like a big deal, especially since they're connected with the war, the ancient war. So it would just seem kind of wrong to just introduce those all willy-nilly. There has to be more to them, I feel. War Greymon being the first here, that's fine. Like, honestly, it's expected that War Greymon would be the first. But as long as they space out the rest and don't just introduce them just really suddenly, then okay. But so they move forward. We have a battle against Bakemon and their evolutions. There is Metal, oh God, what's the name? Phantomon, Metal Phantomon, and then the Mega form, which is Gokumon. And all the forms are really creepy looking. I mean, Bakemon's always been creepy. I don't think I've seen Metal Phantomon before, but the Grim Reaper aspect with like the spine that hangs down and everything, like, yeah, that's pretty damn creepy. And Gokumon's not as creepy as the other two, but still kind of has that skull-like face in its gold armor and still kind of bears the connection and resemblance to the others that still makes it kind of creepy. Still makes it kind of unnerving. But they managed to take them out, and we're introduced to these dog tanks, who I can't remember their names right now. But they're just good boys who help out. That's pretty much all it seems like they are. They're just good boys who help out. They helped out during the war, and now Batman has awoken them to help out again, and they're doing so. Batman is taking the Woodmon and all to safety, and this is almost kind of reminding me of with Leomon and everything. It's like a different kind of resistance now. But I assume Leomon and all is going to come back. Um, so it's really interesting that this kind of has a similar vibe to that. But we'll see how that goes. I'm very much excited nonetheless. This episode gave us a lot of big lore, and this is clearly going in directions that is very different from the original, and I am super happy about that. I'm really glad that it's doing that. And I can't wait to see, well, how far it takes it. In the meantime, tell me in the comments below what you thought of this episode of Digimon Adventure 2020, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.